Great. So welcome everybody today. We're going to focus in today's class on foundations. So we were having a chat prior to the class that it's easy to skip these or miss them, and they frequently don't get taught. It's a really important part of the practice. So while you're settling in, while I'm talking, I invite you to just start wriggling a little bit. Toes, fingers, wrists, ankles. Listen to my voice, but also start to just connect a bit down into the body. Even if you're seated, just move a little bit and deepen your sense of presence inside the body. So we're going to look today. I can do feet as well. Close this door. We're going to look at foundations. There's a lot of postures in yoga. When you're not seated, you're either standing or in some combination of being on your feet and hands. Lots and lots of different combinations. So when the hands are on the floor, there is a lot of work, awareness work to be done around how to activate that, to provide safety, to provide strength and flexibility for the wrist as a solid base on which to build the rest of your structure, the whole of your pose. So, and from there as well, draw up that foundational energy from the earth. So we're going to start with a little bit of presencing, coming to your seat. And hopefully you've had a little bit of a wriggle and let the body just discharge a bit of that energy around, oh, I'm doing something different. I'm moving to a different place. So let yourself settle. Bring an invitation to your being, for the experience to be a settling one. Maybe you move the shoulders, the spine, the neck. And then allow yourself to come to stillness. Close down the eyes. Place the hands, palms down onto your thighs, maybe the knees if that feels good. Wherever you can relax and feel that the shoulders feel held by the posture. Notice the foundation of this pose, sides of the feet, sit bones, connected down to the earth. Take a moment to feel that a little more. And then see if you can invite that feeling to move up through the sit bones, into the tailbone, into the spine, up through the middle of the back, up through the mid back and the upper back, the neck and up into the skull. Just feel that energy of solid holding infuse through your body. And then leaning into that with softness, down through the face, down through the throat, down through the chest, the diaphragm, the solar plexus, and the belly, softening. And then as you inhale, soft belly and seeing if you can expand through that solar plexus area. Diaphragm moving down as you breathe in. And then exhale to soften. And again, as you inhale, awareness of expansion through the diaphragm if possible. And then an exhale to soften. And one more. And then allowing the breath to be natural. Attention on the breath. Breath comes in and breath goes out. Allowing ourselves a few moments to contemplate this idea of foundations. In our meditative practice, often the foundation is this, the breath in and out. It's very easy to get caught up, whatever it is that we're doing, in wanting to be sophisticated, complicated. And yet if the foundations are not strong, with our music, with our practices, with our work, all of that complexity can come crashing down so easily. And yet it gets so supported by attention to the foundations. So we return, breath in, breath out. And placing one hand onto the heart, one hand onto the diaphragm, the solar plexus. And again, just attending deliberately to foundational aspects of our practice, the breath, and the diaphragm, and the feeling and the openness in the heart. If we ever get caught up in our heads or pulled out of the practice, we just return here. Reset and rebuild, breath by breath. And bringing the hands together in prayer to seal in our intention and commitment to do this. One more time, anchoring through sit bones, lifting through crown, softening belly and letting the breath flow in. And then an exhale to bow forward to seal in this intention. And then extending the arms forward and coming into a forward fold. So let your fingertips slide along the floor as you reach the whole torso forward. Soft belly, soft breath. You can gently blink open your eyes. Breathe in and draw back. Exhale and swap the cross of the legs. Support yourself with your fingertips if you wish. Breath in, full awareness from the heart out to the fingertips as you raise the arms, bring them up overhead. Exhale, hands down to heart, and then all the way to the floor. Forward fold this side. Just beginning to awaken the breath and the body. Good, and then inhale to draw back. Exhale, bring the arms down by your sides. Breath in, scrunch up the shoulders and the hands, make fists here. And then see if you can let it all go simultaneously. Your hands might crash into the floor a little bit, that's okay. Breath in, scrunch it up into fists, ball up into fists, and then release fingers and shoulders down. One more time, breath in, scrunch it up, tense it up. And then drop. Beautiful. Try to move through every transition today with the most mindfulness you can bring. So as you start to come to hands and knees, I want you to be aware of your body moving through space, of the knees touching the ground. And notice now the hands. You're going to focus on these a little bit. Right from the first contact with the floor, begin to bring much more awareness than you normally would. So feel through the surface area of the hands and the contact of that with the floor. And then just notice the tendency that we have here is to press the weight to the outer edge of the hand. Okay, so this does a lot of damage and compression into the wrists, and it's not using the full structure of the hand for support. So I want you to just start to press maximally all of your weight to the inner edge, pressing down through the forefinger here and under this thumb and in that area between the thumb and the forefinger. So almost like this is an overcorrection to the middle. Might be a little bit in this area. So just go gently. And then again, back to the outer edge and try to exaggerate it now. So really take your, almost to the point where your thumb and forefinger would peel off the floor. So you're right on the outer edges of those hands. You feel there's no weight under that thumb and forefinger. And then back to the center, all the weight. So you could almost peel up the outer edges of your hands. That's it. And then just continuing to rock like that, very slowly, back and forth between the outer and inner edges of the hands. Good. And then come and find the centered place between the outer and the inner edge. You may find that a little more easy to access now. Press down a little bit between thumb and forefinger. Press down under the knuckles that are under the base of your fingers. So this is where we start to create a little Eiffel Tower shape, almost like a suction cup inside the hand. And then fingertips gripping. And notice if you can feel more activation. This is also activating the bandhas, which means lock, around the joint here of the wrists. And then as you press down now, a little bit between thumb and forefinger, can you imagine that you're opening jam jars under your hands? So both hands are going to almost press to the outside. So if you need to look, I'll show you the direction of the movement that I want you to do. So it's like this, pressing into the floor, but doing this, but you're not really moving, you're just energetically doing that. So it's like trying to screw doorknobs or something in opposite directions. Press in and do that outward movement. So every activation, you'll feel this additional degree of strength and stability coming. Good. And then come out of it, let the hands go a little bit, shake the wrists out. So we'll sit back. Can everybody sit onto, I think everyone in this class is okay to sit onto the heels. Nobody's got major knee issues? Yeah, okay, sweet. So just shaking out the hands a little bit. Good. I'm going to open up into them a little deeper. So taking the right hand, facing it up. Take the left hand to the tips of the fingers and drawing it all the way back as far as you can go. So fingers and wrist, everything bending as much as possible. Yours may not look like mine. I have quite flexible fingers. And just breathing into the front here. Good. Then letting it come all the other way, all the way over. And you may want to pincer grip a little bit here, thumb to the back of the fingers, fingers on the outside here, and draw it all down. Staying steady with the breath. Some of them may not be super comfortable. And that's okay. Just go to that edge where you can lean into it and breathe. Good. Releasing that left hand now, doing it entirely with your own muscles. Breathing in to bring the hands and the fingers back. Breathing out to bend it forward. Breathing in to lift it up and out forward. 2 more times. In comes up, out goes down. Nice. And then 1 more. Awesome. Then making a loose fist here, so bringing the fingers in, but I don't want you to hold tension in the hand, just closing. And then making the fullest circle that you can, so really working into your joint awareness here in the wrist. Starting to, if you lift these top knuckles back towards you, a maximum bend here, and then we're going to trace circles and see if you can really find the biggest circle that you can. Trying to keep everything else as steady as possible and really isolate the movement into that joint. Just do 3 slow ones in one direction. You may get a bit of clicking, that's okay as well. And then 3 in the other direction. Good, and then release. Have a little gentle shake. That's it. And then bringing the other hand up. Left hand forward, we give it assistance for the first one, using the right hand to take it as far back as we can. But remember to ease in, always ease in to the openings. We never push. Especially with small joints like this. Good. And then coming the other way. Nothing else is happening. Go back to the breath. Stay with the breath. Then releasing unassisted. Breath in, fingertips back. Breath out, forward. In, bring the fingertips back. Breath out, down. 1 more, no, 2 more. I think we did 4 times. And down. 1 more back. Breath in. And breath out, down. Good, making that loose fist. and 3 times. And if the arm gets tired, you can just bring it down. You don't have to hold it all the way up here. It's just for working into the wrist. So making your rotations, that's it. 3 in one direction. And 3 in the other direction. Good, and then a little release. Shake it out. Okay, final part of preparation, then we'll go back into using them. There's a little bit of nerve tensioning. So we bring the arms out with the palms facing in, the fingertips down, and you use a breath in here. Good. As you breathe out, bringing the backs of the wrists together in front of the heart. Then we turn the wrists in towards us, taking a breath in, hands out, breath out, fingertips down, and take the arms out to the sides. Good. So take the fingertips back behind you, breath in all the way forward to the heart. And so on the exhale. Don't worry, if it takes a few goes to get it, breath in, forward. Fingertips down, open up as you exhale. So, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. 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 In, and this time we're going to exhale, keep the hands close to you, and then roll into prayer position. Good. And then again, just have a little moment to connect with your wrists, the tops of your hands, feeling down through the forearms. And you can just give your hands and fingers a little bit of a rub, a little bit of a massage, especially between this area here, between the thumb and the forefinger. Give that a nice little bit of energy. And then you can follow that line up into the wrist here. So you've got lots of tiny little bones along that area and ligaments through the wrist. So we just want to give all of that bit of warmth and energy through the fingers, and then even up into the forearms. So along this, sort of along the two bones in a way. That's it. And through the middle. Do the other one if you haven't. So I like to follow, if you ever see that, this x-rays of the hand skeleton and the fingers actually go all the way down here. I like to follow that line. Up into the forearms. That's it. And then a little shake out. Taking the hands, oh, they feel so alive. Take the hands behind you, interlace the fingers. You take a breath in and work up a little bit into the shoulders now. So as you inhale, taking the points of the shoulders back, drawing the shoulder blades together, keeping the chest somewhat open and the ribs steady. Exhale. And keep working deeper, so rolling the shoulders out, rolling the upper arms. I don't know how to describe that. Rolling them out. And then exhale, release. Breath in to take the hands out to the sides. It's going to warm up the shoulders, bringing the left elbow into the right, wrap your forearms, your nice flexible open forearms. Breath in, fingertips up. Breath out, elbows to the chest and round. Breath in, take it up. Breath out, round. And again, inhale up. Exhale, curl in. Inhale to neutral. Exhale to release. Hands out, breath in. Swap sides, right elbow into left. Wrap the forearms. Good. Breath in to lift fingertips and elbows up. Breath out to tuck and round. Breath in up. Breath out, round. One more, inhale up. Exhale, round. But I want to do a bit more actually. I'm feeling to do a bit more in the shoulders. Come to neutral, release. And for you, Michelle, just adjust as you need to, because I'm not sure how this one will go with your shoulder and elbow. But I'd like to take the left arm up and over and use the right hand on the elbow to draw that elbow a little bit back and behind the head. And we're pressing that left hand down the spine. So it gets an opening into the shoulder and into the ribs, down through your intercostals. So I want you to feel like as you're doing it as well, you're lifting up through the elbows. There's energy going up through your elbow. And then options. So see how you feel like that. If you want to, we can take a bend to the left and really deepen this opening. Get lots of space through that rib cage. Good. Breath in to come back up to center. And breath out to release. Good. Swapping over to the right side. Coming up. So we want to set the foundation of each part of the pose as well. So really getting that nice lift up here through the shoulder, bend the elbow, and then work the elbow back and then in towards the center line of the body, behind the head. Notice if you're popping your ribs out, draw them in a little bit. Lift up energetically through that elbow. And then option, taking a bend to the left. Oh, this one's side is stiff for me. Yeah, good. Nice one. Breath into center. Breath out to release. Okay, so we should have a bit more space in the shoulders. Then again, noticing as you come around, placing the hands onto the floor, placing the knees onto the floor. Middle finger pointing forward. And notice if you can just a little bit more easily balance out the weight through the hand. The hand feels that bit more secure and safe. Gripping gently with the fingertips, pressing down under the knuckles, down between thumb and forefinger. Breath in, belly down, head and tailbone up. Breath out, round. So we're staying with that presence in the hands and the wrists. And now bringing more awareness through the full spine. Breath in, belly down, head and tailbone up. Breath out to round. Breath in, belly down, head and tailbone up. Breath out to round. This one I want you to hold here and bring in your little explorations, your movements, your adjustments, as you find more opportunities, more space to loosen, to expand, to explore ribs, shoulders, hips. Good. And then breath in, belly down, head and tailbone up. Exhale to round. Inhale to neutral. And then holding these hands, resetting the awakening and the activations. Going to exhale, press into the hands and take it to downward facing dog. Stay up on the toes here and focus through your arms. So as you grip with the fingertips, press down between thumb and forefinger, press under the base of the knuckles. You're also trying to rotate your forearms outward. Sorry, your forearms inward, my bad. And your upper arms outward. So if we need to do, I'll show this in a moment. Breath in and breath out, knees to the floor. So I'll just explain a bit more what I mean there. So as we're setting the structure here, we're pressing down between thumb and forefinger. There's a rotation in the forearm this way, inward towards where that line is. And then in the upper arm, there's a rotation outward as we spread those shoulders and take that tension out of the neck. It's quite tricky. We'll do the same with the legs later on, but that's down the track. But if you think about it, then you're starting to do this kind of create torque and strength, and you've got things going in opposing directions, which makes it stronger than everything going in the same direction. Yeah, so there's balance. So when we press down here, so think about that flesh rolling out, those shoulders rolling out. You can even practice here with your arm in front of you. We're pressing down into the fingers, into the area between thumb and forefinger. And just think, okay, so my upper arm, you can even give it just for a flavor of how it feels. My lower arm, rotating into this line, and my upper arm rotating out. Okay. Taking both hands in front of you once again to the floor. Grip with the fingertips, press down between thumb and forefinger, but keep those nice structures so we're not collapsing to the inner edge of the hand either. We're just balancing out that over emphasis on the outer edge. Forearms slightly in, upper arms out. Breath in, and then exhale, grip with the fingers, press into the hands and come to downward facing dog. And see if you can feel that extra length through the arms. And then let your heels come down towards the floor. Again here, you can press down under that big toe. Spread the toes, grip with the toes, and activate the feet. And think about the arches in the feet. Beautiful. Breath in, rise up onto the toes, breath out, knees to the floor. Okay. Coming back here to bring your right leg through. low lunge. So you can just keep having your awareness low. As you change postures, think about the touch. If your fingers are on the floor, the touch of the fingers. So here we start to strengthen just by putting the fingertips only, not the whole hand, and letting weight come in there. Think about the touch of your foot, your toes, your knee on the floor. Breath in. Squeeze the inner thighs towards each other. We're going to take that exhale, keep that nice consistent line, and hips go forward and down. And we're doing a nice opening for the front of the hip. If you squeeze gently through the back of the hip, through the glute, this will allow even more space to open up in the front. Follow the breath. Beautiful. Breath in, bring the hips back. Breath out to release that side. Bring the other leg through. So left leg comes through. Pay attention to your foundations. The sensation of the sole of the foot on the floor. Toes spread wide, gripping, arch lifted. You can have your fingertips, so you can press your hands in, breath in, squeeze the hips together. And then breath out, let them come nice and deep and forward. Remember your posterior tilt here too, so these top bones of the hips still going back, so we don't overbend into that lower back. We really bring the opening down here into the front of that hip. Beautiful, then breath in, hips back. Exhale to take your foot back, your left leg back. Take your knees out to the sides, toes touching, breath in. And then exhale, hips back to heels. When you come long through the body, spreading the spine forward into your child's pose. Forehead to the floor if possible. And then options here with the arms and shoulders. So you can extend the arms long. One more devotional version of the posture is to actually bring the hands into prayer, and depending on the length of your hands, they can sit behind the head. If you've got longer arms, they'll sit back here into the neck. My arms are too short for that. And then you can walk the elbows forward and open up more through the chest and upper back. Awesome. Release the hands, breath in, rising up onto all fours. Notice the position of the hands. So what can happen, we talked about this last week quite a bit, Michelle. It can be a little uncomfortable to begin changing the weight distribution, the pattern and activation of how you're using the hands. So you may notice that other areas of muscles feel a little bit sore or different or strange, and that's fine. That's part of the transition. Breath in here. Breath out to walk the arms forward, bringing the chest down to the floor, opening the heart up for Anahatasana. Good, and then inhale, rise up. Hands under the shoulders, nice and awake. Toes tucked, grip with the fingers, and exhale, coming back to downward facing dog. 3 breaths here if you can. Good, and then walk forward to the front of your mat. Soften the knees to take the flat back position, breath in. Long through the spine from tailbone right up to crown. And then exhale, long forward fold, belly, ribs, chest, coming down. And take hold of your elbows. Let's get real traction here. I'm just going to tuck my shirt in. That's it. So see if you can really think about anchoring yourself through the feet. So again, our foundation, spreading the toes, gripping with the toes, arches of the feet active. Sit bones up towards the ceiling. And then holding onto the elbows, completely letting go through the spine, right from the tailbone, lower back, upper back, particularly there through the neck and the head. So nice to go upside down and release compression through the neck and then upper spine. Good, then release off the knees, release the hands down. Breathe in to roll up, keep the chin tucked. Exhale to ground and stand. Breath in. Oh, what's happened here? Oh, it's my phone. Had a little. My phone got tired. All right. Can you guys see me okay? Just give me a thumbs up. Everything, yeah, cool. Okay. Breath in, hands out and up. So arms very awake and active here now. So we want to feel that opening through the shoulders. We can really energetically direct the arms outward, right to the fingertips, right from the center of the spine, out to the fingertips, up overhead. And then exhale, hands down, soft knees, forward fold. Fingertips to the floor, breath in to look up, flat back, extend from tailbone right to the crown of the head. Notice your shoulders, notice your wrists. We're going to step back to downward facing dog, set up with those beautiful foundations. Gripping with fingertips, step the feet back. Now, as you breathe in, I want you to come forward to high plank. So rise up onto the toes, breath in, and really feel like you're pushing the hands back. So you're pressing the mat back towards your feet. Arms are strong. You should feel it all the way down into your lats. Come to your high plank position. Upper body is rounded, upper back round, shoulders and hips in line. And then exhale, knees to the floor. Good. So when we do it like that, we take the pressure. I just want to show you. When we're in our plank position, all these activations should actually recruit the lats all the way down the side of your body and into your core, rather than being all up in your shoulders. Breath in, belly down, head and tailbone up. Exhale and round. Inhale to neutral. And exhale back, downward facing dog. Be aware of the feet and hands, spread the toes and fingers, grip with the tips of the toes, tips of the fingers, forearms rolling in, upper arms rolling out. Breath in, little steps to the front of your mat. Look up to a flat back position. Maximum extension from tailbone to crown. And then exhale, nice and long forward fold. I'm going to give ourselves a bit more traction here, taking hold of those elbows. Really nice and long. Release, bend the knees. Gentle, slow roll up, keep the chin tucked. And keep the head down still as you exhale into your standing position. Then a breath in, head to neutral, arms up and overhead. Exhale to forward fold, soften through the knees, make the transition nice and slow. Hands to the floor, breath in. So here we're just on our fingertips pressing in, look to flat back. Then exhale, hands to the floor, feet back behind you, downward facing dog. Strong and supported, gliding through on the in-breath to your flat back, to your plank position. Press down, draw the core in, rounded through the upper back. That's it. Exhale, knees to the floor. Belly in, down. Breath in, belly down, head and tailbone up. Breath out, round. Full juicy movement through the spine. Breath into neutral. And out to downward facing dog. Good. Inhale to step forward. Come to your flat back position. Exhale to forward fold, nice and long. Inhale to roll, come to stand. Exhale to ground. We're going to do just one standing pose with another little detail about the wrist that's quite interesting for how it affects the position of your shoulders. Taking your, I'll go this way, left leg back. Setting up for warrior. Bend that back knee, so we'll adjust the hips here nice and, actually no, we won't. Keep the back knee straight. Level out the hips and turn your body to the left. Nice. Nice lifted posture. As you breathe in, take your arms out full length, so feeling from that center of the chest out through the arms to the fingertips. And then exhale, bend the front knee. I'm going to have a little play here. So adjust the feet as needed. I want you to turn the hands, the whole arms and hands up. So feel this opening through the chest, through the shoulders, everything open. Good. Now, holding all that openness, we are going to flip only at the wrists. Okay, so I'm going to turn my front wrist, my right wrist, just the wrist. My arm stays open, my shoulder stays open, my chest stays open. And then flip the other one. Just the wrist. Breath in. Exhale, can you deepen? Bending the knee a little further and reach out a little more through the fingertips. Good. 2 more breaths. And now turn the head to look out over your front fingertips. Good. Inhale, straighten up, and exhale to release the arms. Really want you to feel the difference there. Inhale and just raise the arms. Now, open them up. Take the hands up towards the ceiling. Now hold that openness and only at the wrists, flipping. You'll feel, so anchor your shoulder blades to the back, they don't move. Just flipping the wrists, palms down. So you feel a lot more up at the top of the ribs, top of the shoulders, down through the ribs. Good. Breath in. Breath out, bend the front knee. Holding that strength and openness. It will make you work harder. Beautiful. Breath in, rise up and release. Step to the front, have a little shake. Let's release it. I'm going to go the other way. This time bringing your right leg back. Setting up with your warrior feet. Hips to the right. Nice. Casual, breath in, raise the arms. Breath out, bend the front knee. Adjust the legs to where it feels good. Then open up the palms. So really intentionally open it up. Holding that openness, isolate the movement so that you flip, you turn the palm down and you're just moving at the wrist. A little bit of the forearm will move. The elbow's still up, upper arm is still up, shoulders still open. Good, looking out over the front fingertips, breath in. Breath out, can you deepen it? Can you bend the front knee a tiny bit more? Can you extend through the fingertips a tiny bit more? Good, inhale, straighten it up. Exhale to release the hands. A little bit of a gentle pulse or shake through the shoulders. And then again, with straight legs this time, breath in, take the arms up, open it up. So if you can do it in a fluid movement, you feel the whole tops of the shoulders and the shoulder blades go like that. Chunk. So, and then they stay there. Just the wrists move. Breath in. Breath out, come to your full position. Bend that front knee. It's quite tiring. Can be. I don't know how you're feeling. But there's space, the shoulders are down, everything's open. Everything's strong. Good, and then inhale, rise up. And exhale, step to the front. Shake it all out. Good work. We're going to come down to the floor for a little bit of relaxation. Find your way. If you need socks and jackets and all the things that accoutrements that you wish to have for your relaxation, please get all those bits and pieces now. So anyone watching this video later, I'm going to stay in a seated position to guide the meditation, but I invite you to take a full Shavasana relaxed pose. And to once again give yourself time and space to wriggle into it, to acknowledge and transition and let the body get used to, oh, now it's stillness time. Let the body have space to integrate the different sensations and areas of the body that maybe have worked a little differently or have released something or opened up, strengthened. And then invite your body as you close down your eyes. Invite your body into a few moments of total stillness as an experience. Once again, we scan through the places of the body connected to the earth, the back of the head, the backs of the shoulders, backs of the arms, backs of the pelvis, legs, heels. We allow ourselves to really feel through that plane of contact the sensation of meeting the earth. Leaning into that and softening through the face, the throat, the chest, the belly, the hips, the fronts of the legs, the knees, the lower legs, the ankles and feet. Inviting softness even deeper down into the belly and the solar plexus. Inviting softness into your attention and into your breath. Tracing the shapes of your breath into the lungs as you breathe in. And into the air as you breathe out. Keep inviting the attention back to the foundations. The breath. And the sensations in the body. Gently deepening the breath. Wriggling the fingers and toes. The wrists and the ankles. And drawing your knees up to your chest. And rolling to the right side. And coming to a seated position. One hand on heart, one hand on solar plexus. Closing the eyes just for a moment, touching back into our intention. So we circle back and we close by reconnecting with the spirit of our initial intention at the beginning to honor the foundations. To honor the foundations of our practice. Of our experiences. And the incredible power that they carry into our work, our lives, our relationships. Bringing the hands together into prayer to indicate our willingness to pay attention. Breath in to sit tall, breath out to bow forward. Namaste. Thank you. And for those watching after, apologies for the little tech glitches. I'll just close this recording.